Everybody's apprehensive because they asked me to kick this thing off. Before we start, I'm going to ask our police chief, Brent Suttle, to bring the invocation.
If you would bow your heads, join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for our time today. Thank you for our opportunity to gather together, community leaders, state leaders, so many different cities and communities represented here. We ask for your blessing on our time together today and all that we do as leadership in our communities. Help give us wisdom and guidance in all that we do. We love you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Before you start, sir, I need Kelly. Where's Kelly?
Kelly.
Oh, there she is, right.
What we're going to attempt to do here in the next few minutes is we're going to try to give you the information you need regarding the grant that was petitioned last year that we received word that we would receive today, to give you all the information about that process and possibly answer any questions you might have about it. I want to start by putting it in historical context. Like sometimes the council asks me to reach back and give the origins of the problem, and I'm holding in my hand here, this is City of Pelham Ordinance number 12, dated July the 15th, 1968. And this is an ordinance that established a penalty for train operators for blocking traffic in 1968. The population of Pelham in 1968 was less than 1,000. Our population now is bumping 25,000. Population is up, train traffic is up, car traffic is up, so there's no one should be surprised why we're here. Now, we all agree there are many people and many agencies that made this day possible, so I'm not going to try to list them all. We're going to let Gretchen do that. But what I want to say is, first of all, to the City of Pelham staff, thank you to the City of Pelham staff because they're the ones that put everything together and made this thing happen. And there's not one single person or entity in this whole endeavor whose effort should be rank above somebody else. This was truly a group effort with a lot of endorsements and a lot of heavy hitters. And I'm going to close by saying this whole process from beginning in should serve as a poster child to what collaboration looks like between municipalities, counties, states, and the federal government. Thank you for coming here today. I'm going to be followed by Gretchen DeFonte, our city manager.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Waters. So I do have, it's my job to thank everybody. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm confident that I'm going to miss somebody because everybody's come in here. Some people come in a little bit later than when I made notes. But we had, as the mayor said, we had so many people involved in this process. And I want to start by thanking Senator April Weaver, who's here. Thank you very much for being here. State Representative Kenneth Pascal, thank you very much. I think CSX received several dozen phone calls probably from you. Also, Shelby County Commissioner Ward Williams is here, and he's going to be speaking. Our Pelham City Council. Wow, it's been great to work with this council. And if you'll just stand up, President Maurice Mercer, Councilman David Corum could not be with us today. Councilwoman Mildred Lanier is here. Councilman Rick Wash and Councilman Chad Leverett, who were very passionate, thank you, about, and former Councilman Larry Palmer, who's not with us, but he was on the council. He's not with us because he retired and he moved out of the county, but we're very appreciative of council's efforts and council's vision and support for this. So we're very fortunate in Pelham. And also joining us at the podium is Kelly Kelly, which is with International Infrastructure Consulting firm AECOM, and she is here with her colleague Eddie Lobdale, and we spent a lot of hours with these folks and their team. So we're very grateful for the hard work. Shelby County Engineer David Willingham may be here or may not be here. If not, he'll be sneaking in. And also the Assistant County Engineer Scott Holliday is here too. And we have Helena City Council President Alice LaBelle, who's representing Helena, one of our funding partners today with us. And Ward is obviously representing the other funding partner, Shelby County. And then CSX is not here, but we have been speaking with Jane Covington, and they're a funding partner as well. And we are very thankful for the job that they did, the data that they helped us gather, and the support that they provided. and also instrumental in joining us, especially in our data gathering efforts. Colin McDonald and Eric Raymond from Regional Transportation Services. Can you guys just wave? Thank you. I think there were a few last-minute calls, not only last minute, but we really appreciate what you did in helping us gather information. Helena Fire Chief Pete Valenti is here and helped us, and Captain Chad Agee, who also came in and helped us at the last minute gather some very important data. Helena Police Chief Brad Flynn, thank you very much for being here, Chief. And then obviously we are very thankful to the ALDOT Director, John Cooper. ALDOT could not be here today, but we are certainly thankful for their support. This grant application process was a tremendous undertaking. We did not have a lot of time, and so there was a lot of work that needed to be done in a very short amount of time. The city contracted with AECOM, and I'm excited for Kelly to come and talk about the project with you next. And they had some expertise in FRA applications, and you always want to go to the experts, right? Especially when you're doing something as competitive as this was. So the data collected included gathering engineering, traffic data, police calls and response, fire, emergency medical service, and emergency transport call response from Pelham, Helena, and from the Regional Transportation Services. This data certainly helped determine the cost benefit of this project, which it's a big cost benefit. And I just want to say a special thank you to Pelham team members who put in enormous hours to make this happen. In particular, Andre Bittis, who served as the Pelham project manager for the grant application, interim city engineer and municipal consultants partner Chris Cousins, who I feel knows us sometimes better than we know ourselves, Fire Chief Mike Reed and EMS Director Lieutenant Matt Maples, and Pelham Emergency Communications Director Jeannie Davis, Brooke Jenkins, and Ainsley Allison, who were instrumental in gathering information and packaging it in a way that helped the evaluators take notice. Last but certainly not least, we had 31 letters of support submitted with the application. We want to recognize Evan Hay from Colonial Pipeline. Evan is with us today. And Chuck Ledbetter from the Pelham City School District, who's also here. And Robert Radici from the Helena Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you for being here, Robert. And funding partner Shelby County, the City of Helena, and CSX. We are grateful and look forward to working with you on this project. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. As Gretchen said earlier, my name's Kelly Kelly. I'm an engineer with AECOM. We were thrilled to partner with the city on this grant application. It was really, like as Gretchen said, a really fast process, but all the elements really came together, and it was just a great project to work on. We have our project map up here. I'm not sure how well some of you in the back can see it, but just as kind of like a little legend, the little darker, the brown here is where we're adding roadway, where we're widening the roadway or new roadway. And then kind of the bright blue are going to be new bridges. So I'll kind of walk you through the project. I'll start over on the left side of the map, which would be the west side of the project on County Road 52. We're going to start roughly around Clark Street and begin our widening there. That smaller little blue area will be a bridge over the creek there. As you come further east, the larger blue is where we're going to bridge over the CSX railroad, the two crossings that continually get blocked. That bridge is going to be a little over 400 feet. It's going to be 4 lanes across. It's also going to have a multi-use path for pedestrian and bicycle traffic. And then I'm not sure if you can really see on the map, but a little bit north, approximately here, is where 52 West ties into US 31. Well, in order to kind of create our ultimate design here, we realigned 52 West. So now it's going to tie in and align perfectly with the east section of 52. So we're going to do a lot of intersection improvements through there, additional lanes, turn lanes. On US 31, we're going to replace the northbound bridge, this lower little blue area, and that's going to allow us to add in some turn lanes to help traffic flow through that area. And then as you come across 31, all the way over here to the southbound ramps of 65, we're going to add lanes, increase capacity through this area. I know it's prone to flooding. We're going to do some drainage structures that will help mitigate those flooding issues through there. And, this is a really good representation of what we think the ultimate will be. As part of the design project, we are going to study some additional alternates. And so we will, come up with the best possible alternates. This could change a little bit, probably not too much, but, it is subject to change. But we're really excited about this project. It's much needed. It brings so much benefits to the area. I mentioned the flooding. Our emergency responders are now going to have a permanently navigable east-west corridor to get through there. No more stopping and trying to find alternate routes. It's going to save travel time, travel emissions. There's just so many benefits for this project, and we're really excited to partner as part of it. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Wow. Hi, I'm Ward Williams. It's a great day in District 4 of Shelby County. So, Mayor Waters talked about collaborations, and that's one of the things that makes Shelby County such a great place to live. This is city, county, state, federal collaboration. And people enjoy collaborations, and we go farther together, and that's one of the things that happens in these groups. But Pelham was the leader in this. Shelby County was excited to be a partner. I do want to thank our city staff. Our engineer was here, and our assistant engineer. We have a fantastic staff. And we are so glad to partner, but this is, as I said, we want to thank, the city of Pelham had the idea, they persevered, they came up with creative ways, and we're just super excited to get to be a partner. And we want to always continue to find ways to be supportive in collaborations, and that's one of the things that makes this area fantastic. When I ran a couple years ago, it's been about 6 years, public safety and then infrastructure along the Alabaster 31 and 65 corridor, we're from Alabaster to Valleydale is District 4. And I think the number 2 issue besides public safety was, people getting on 65 and the east-west corridors were the issues that were brought up the most. This solves so many problems, so it's a fantastic day, and we can't wait to see it happen. So congratulations to the city of Pelham. It's a good day for everybody. Thank you.
Well, representing the city of Helena, I just want to say, first thing, if I could do a happy dance, I would, because the citizens of Helena are going to benefit from this new road construction probably as much as anyone. We have thousands of people that come in and out of Helena on 52 on a daily basis. I was one of them until I retired to be on city council. And so, like I said, we're ecstatic. Gretchen has thanked so many people, and I echo those thanks to all of you that have been part of making this happen. Maurice, I'm going to call you out because Maurice calls me all the time, and nobody better to work with the collaboration between the two cities. And we are just ready for you to start. So if you need a shovel to start to the first time, just let me know. I have one, and we'll be there. So like I said, the city of Helena thanks all of you that have been such a big instrumental part of making this happen. I know we've given our support and we've written our letters, and it is a joint effort, but I dare say that the citizens of Helena will be smiling tonight when they hear about this. Thank you.
To all of the politicians out there, you have an election coming up in 2.5 years. We give you permission to use that on your accomplishment list.
Mine's next year. So.
I'm going to just ask our fire chiefs and also Andre Bittis to join us up here and see if, to answer questions. Does anybody we have the whole public safety team here. We have the engineering team here. What questions do you have? And then we'll get the appropriate people up. Yes, ma'am.
This isn't the first time that a bridge like this has been proposed. About 10 years ago, I think the project was proposed again. What happened that time that's different from now?
I don't know that Pelham applied for an FRA grant. I don't know that the funding at that time was available to the extent. I mean, this has been a huge amount of money that has been made available by the federal government. So as soon as that was released, we wanted to be able to take advantage of that, especially when we knew the only restrictions were by state, but that you could fund, there were no restrictions on funding the project. So I think it's always great we know what we want to have done to improve the quality of lives and improve the economic situation in our cities and counties. But when a funding source like this becomes available, that's the game changer, really. Well, the grant application is a 5-year timetable. Now, I would have to look to the engineers. I mean, I'd say, I don't know, Kelly, do you have any comments about that?
Well, we just, this is brand new, so I can't give you any definite answers. There are limits on the grant funding available. As part of this project, there's so much that goes into it. To start with, there have to be environmental studies, roadway design, bridge design, final traffic analysis, traffic signals, right-of-way acquisitions, utility relocation, and all that has to happen before we can even get to construction. And then we'll have construction, and during construction, inspecting all of that. So all of that goes into it, so it's really impossible to give a timeline today on day one. And I'll just piggyback on what Gretchen said. This grant is an FRA grant, the Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant, and this is the very first year that it was available. A lot of the different fixes have been studied for this area, like, fix this intersection or fix this, or we can try this, and the funding wasn't available to do the ultimate fix. Like this, was not possible before until we were able to get this grant. So yes, a lot of things have been looked at, and thanks to this grant funding, we're actually able to fix everything other than just piecemeal it. We will do our best to maintain traffic flow. We come up with a construction plan, traffic construction plan, and phased construction, so we will do our best, but at this point, that really hasn't been studied yet.
Yes, it happens on a regular basis that we are blocked for that access to our west side of our city. So we know that we have access at the Stonehaven Trail. We can come around it through the Stonehaven subdivision, but that adds an additional 3.5 to 5.5 minutes response time. So we partner with Helena Fire to respond mutual aid for us in those areas to hopefully offset some of that time, but it happens quite often. We, in our 5.5-year data collection, we as a fire department had about 1,000 calls over that 5 years. The police department had around 3,100 emergency calls during that time period where we could have been affected, and we know we know as far as the fire department is concerned, we had about 300 calls in that 5.5-year period in that data collection where we were delayed. And those range anywhere from lift assist to structure fires to, cardiac arrest. So we know it's a problem, and this is a great day for public safety. It's a great day for our citizens, but it's a great day for public safety because we can do our job. We can get to our citizens, because every second counts. Right. I asked them to start today, if possible. I'm with Council Member LaBelle about, hey, let's start shoveling today. So we do have those, programs in place with Helena Fire as far as the mutual aid response. We know our dispatch is very pivotal. When we have a response on the west side of our city, they immediately look at the railroad tracks because of the flock camera system that they have and let us know if we are blocked so that we can go around the Stonehaven Trail entrance. But again, that's our best option, along with calling Helena for response, as well as does our PD for assistance. So that's the environment we live in, and until this flyover is complete and we cut the ribbon on it, like the mayor said, we will contend with it just like we do today. So.
There's a lot of different partners involved in this project. So thinking about the long-term after it's complete, who is going to be responsible for paying for any maintenance that would be required to keep up on this?
This will be a city, both the city and county will be responsible for. It also will be partly the state. So I think all of those you know, if it's a county road, 52 is a county road, it will be county responsibility, but we work together with them. Anything that's affected on the state side, and then of course city, but it like everything else, it's shared responsibility.
You mentioned a lot of the funding partners for this. You contributed much to developing the project.
So it's a $52 million project, of which we have funding for $41 million from the FRA grant. So it's up to the funding partners to come up with $11 million. So we know that CSX has some money committed already, and it's just a matter of sitting down and talking with the funding partners and looking at what, you know, the engineering, we need to look at the engineering, the final design. As Kelly said, you know, we want to make sure that we have the right design, but everybody is committed and wrote a letter committing to the local funding for this project when we submitted the application. Okay, great.
That's it.
Thank you.